Hey there, it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy, and in this video I'm going to show you what I did with June's pick of the crop, right? Yep, pick of the crop paper pumpkin kit. Okay, so first I'm going to show you what came in the kit, and I'm going to just take it like this and just dump it out. I think that's easiest, and then I can go through. Okay, so first thing, you'll get chipboard. Now your packaging is the chipboard's part of the packaging. Now if you don't have a foam mat, because paper pumpkin comes with photopolymer stamps, you could use this packaging as like a stamp pad, and I'll show you what I'm talking about when I use my foam mat. You could use this. This month, let's save this for the end, you got Calypso Coral. Boy, talk about a brain lapse there. Calypso Coral ink spot. Of course, you get your dimensionals. I'm going to set these out. We'll need those. And your stamp set. Now, if you're having trouble, like here, seeing the stamp set, let me show you. I store my paper pumpkin like this, and I think it's easier to see the stamp set like this. So this is what the stamp set looks like this month. Now, if you want to print these out, all you have to do is go to paperpumpkin.com, log into your account, you click on what's Paper Pumpkin all about, and at the bottom of the screen, you'll see they have these printouts like this, and that's how you can store your paper pumpkin. And then what I do is I just tuck the stamp set inside the little pocket here, and that way you have the stamp set right there and you can see what's in the stamp set. That's just how I store my paper pumpkin stamps. Right, so you get the stamp set, we got some linen thread and your glue dots, and then all the pieces for the kit. Let's start with the card bases. So there's 3 different card bases. It makes, I believe, 9 cards in the kit, and I've just started with mine. I'll show you what I did with the first ones. But there's the different card bases, and then this one, upside down, this one, and then it has all kinds of like cutout pieces like this to make your card that you can just punch out of there. Has some vellum pieces to accent your cards. I think this is the same one. Yeah, this is the one I've cut the pieces out already. And then you have this thing, the same thing, whoops, like that, all these pieces, and then these pieces that look like this. And then of course you have your envelopes that are decorated on the inside too. Love these envelopes. And then of course your instruction, and you get some tissue paper. And I hope you held on to your tissue paper, because at this end of the video, for all my Paper Pumpkin subscribers, or if you get Paper Pumpkin and you've picked me as your demonstrator, I'm going to send you a make and take this month. I have the paper almost all cut out, and hopefully they'll go out this weekend. So hang on to your tissue paper. You're going to need it for your make and take. Okay, and then, like I said, you get your instructions too. I think I'm going to put I've already cut those down. Okay, then this month, they had a little, like extra bag that went with the kit. They gave you one in the kit, and then if you want more, you can order them from Stampin' Up! At my online store, Stampin' Up! Or kathyhouse.stampinup.net. The link is below. But look how cute those little bags are that you can get, and you could stamp on those. I've seen a lot of cute things done. And as I get mine decorated, you can go to my blog, becreativewithkathy.com, and I'll have pictures of what I did with my bag on there. Okay. Just search under Paper Pumpkin June 2022, and you'll find the post that has the pictures. But not yet. I haven't had a chance to get them done and post them yet. So let's go on with the cards. Now I'm going to finish up a couple cards. I haven't finished any cards, and I want to show you what I plan to do with mine. So the first card, we'll start with this one here, which I have most of the pieces. I think I have it almost all done. But I went ahead just like they did. I took the card base, which I showed you really look like this, kind of like this, and then I cut it down so that they're 5 1/4 by 4 inches each side. And I'm going to take this one, and I went ahead and put that piece that's cut out and the little piece of bread on there and the little tag that it comes with, and stamped on that and put that on there. And then I have a piece of green, garden green cardstock here that is 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I've scored it at 5 1/2 and 2 3/4. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put some adhesive And I'm going to just use my tape run. Wait, that one's out. Let's use this one right here on the back. You could also use the glue dots in the kit, but this is just a little bit faster. And I'm going to put a little bit of glue just down here on the bottom half and then lay that down here and turn this card into an easel card. Now when you go on that fold line, it's going to go like this. Now I really liked this other half of the card. Usually if you don't have some basic white, you could just turn this over and this could be the inside of your card. But like I said, I really like this soft pink. So I just cut a little, well, in fact, I didn't even cut this one. I found this one in my scrap bin. I'm going to take that basic white there and just add it to the front of that white, that pink. Well, maybe I am. There I go. Come on, tape, cooperate. And put that down here so you can still see that pretty pink. Like that. And then put this, gotta flick it this way and then I don't have that problem of the tape breaking. I'm gonna put this on the inside of my card, like this. Now, to finish off this card, because you want this to pop up like this, they have a bunch, and oh, here he is, those little extra bread pieces like this. I'm going to use him, excuse me, as my little stopper. So I'm going to take my dimensionals and I'm going to just cut a piece that's about as long as my bread. I think that looks good off the edge there, because we need to pop him up a little bit. Set that right there on my bread. Make sure you can't see the dimensionals from the front. Take that back off and then fold my card where I want it to stop, and looky there. Now you have a easel card. Now when I'm ready to figure out what I want my card to be, whether it's birthday, thinking of you, sympathy, whatever it needs to be, I'll go ahead excuse me, and stamp on my card when I'm ready to mail it out. But that's what I did. Oh, one more thing. Excuse me, now I got a tickle in my throat. That I want to do here is I have I might have to stop and get a drink because now it's really bad. But I have these embellishments left over from a previous kit, and I'm going to take my Night and Navy Stampin' Right markers, just because that's the color of the wheels. You could also just use a black Sharpie, but you need a permanent marker on the dark here, and I'm going to just color those embellishments and add that right here to the spokes of my wheel, just to give it a little bit more. And since I had extras, I might as well use them up from the other kit, right? And now look how cute that little card is with those little spokes of the pearls. Now, if you don't have the pearls left over and you don't have the color blends you want, you could also just use any kind of embellishment. These are the matte black dots. I think those little black dots would have worked really cute right there too. But that's just an idea. Okay, so that's what I did with card number 1. Let's work on card number 2. So I have all the pieces and parts here. Again, I took that card base. It looked like this, and I just cut it down. So I have a piece that is, they're both 5 1/4 by 4. And then I brought in that same color of soft succulent and in a card base. This is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, just your normal card base, scored at 4 1/4. And I'm gonna, first of all, now I didn't see the need to have the green on green, so I'm gonna just turn that over, and that's gonna be the inside. And there again, I'll stamp it when I figure out exactly who I want it to send it to and what it's gonna say. But I'm gonna just take this and put that on the inside. I didn't do much to this card, I'll be honest with you. And then here I cut this down. So this piece is a die cut that they gave you, is supposed to layer right here. And now you can see that since I've cut my card base down, it doesn't quite fit on it anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me tell you one more secret I did. It had a lot of border here on the white, so I just took my paper or my scissors and kind of fussy cut and made it a little bit closer of a border so there's not so much white shown there. But I'm gonna just take this and put it on a couple dimensionals here. let's make sure I missed where I wanted to miss, because we're going to put our little stake in there too, which is going to go right here. Yeah, and there's no dimensional, so I should be okay. But I'm going to go ahead and put this down with dimensionals. And line it up where it's supposed to go. And look, there's a dimensional hanging off the edge. I'm going to just trim him off real quick. Well, there we go. So you can't see him. I kind of missed. Set that right there so it lines up. And then I'm going to just turn it over and cut these edges so that they're flush a little bit. Nope, this one looks pretty good here. There we go. So now we have our card with a little bit of bumped up on there. I'm going to take this, and I probably should have laid, well, no, because I need to cut the edges. Now I'm going to lay this just flat on my card front. And now I think you've noticed I've already done all of my stamping. And so I did that just exactly like the kit said. So on this one, I'm going to put a little bit of tape using the glue dots that came with the kit. And my take a pick tool, I think it's easier to use the glue dots like that. Do you see how I just slide it off? The glue dot's still there, and I'm going to put it there, and then I just slide. Well, I got a little too rough with it. Move my glue dot. But you can just slide that cover off. All right, let's try it again, because I was a little rough. We're going to take our glue dot, there we go, and stick it down. Make sure it's on there good. Then you can just slide that cover off with your take a pick tool. And then on here, I'm going to put a couple dimensionals. And I believe in the kit, you're supposed to try to tie that bow around that pick, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just take, and this is 6 inches what the kit said to use, and it even has a little ruler there in the kit too. No, I didn't tie it in the center, hang on. But I'm going to just tie a little basic, or a little bow here. Well, maybe I'm going to. I usually tie my string or my bows right on the spool, and I should have done that. I was worried, although I don't know why, because I probably have a ton of this little twine, well, brother, in my stash here, and if I ran out, I would be fine, but I'm going to do it Stampin' Up! Says, and I'm going to take my little bow, there we go, with the size of they recommend. There we go. Much better now. And then there again, I'm going to just take that little glue dot and put it right here on the base. Remove that backing and stick my little knot or my bow right there. So that's what that card looks like. Let me trim this tail here just a little bit. So that's what I did with that card. And then the last card is probably the one I have the most tips with. So the last one looks like this, and we have to work with a little piece of vellum. Let me set these two pieces aside. Again though, let me show you. I took the card base and I cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4. And we're going to work on this size. I'm going to keep these other pieces. We need them to show you for placement. There we go. So I'm going to set that here. Well, no, let's start with this piece first. Well, no, I need this piece here too. Come on, Kathy, make up your mind. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a little pocket here, or at least we're going to make it look like a pocket that's going to hold our bread and our little flower, just like the kit called, just so it looks just like this. But I'll show you little tricks and tips that I did to make that happen. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my cheese and I'm going to just attach it down here at the bottom. So I'm going to make sure it only sticks to the vellum. So a little bit of adhesive here. And you notice there's no adhesive, oops, sorry, there's no adhesive on this corner. And I'm going to just put it down here at the bottom. So it looks like that now. Then I have my tag, which I've already stamped. I put a dimensional down here at the bottom, and I'm going to put a glue dot up here at that hole. Now I think Stampin' Up! Suggested that you tie the twine through the hole, but that's way too hard, so I'm going to make it look like I did, but I'm really not going to. So where did my glue dot go? There he is. I'm going to put him right over that hole. Take that back off, and I'm going to lay him, take the back off my dimensional too. Just guessing about where I want that. I think I want it about there. Now we need to tie that twine around this piece of vellum, which I think is almost impossible. So let me show you a way or a little trick that you can tie your twine a little easier. So I'm going to bring in a clear block. Now this clear block that I'm throwing across the room is a C. This is a C block, and I picked it because if you look, my vellum is just a little bit bigger than my block, but yet my block is of course thicker than my vellum, so I think it's going to work. We'll have to do a little finagling, but I'm going to take my 12 inches of linen thread here, make sure that it's even at the top, tie a simple knot here, and then using our new, look at this, oh, I can't remember, reverse tweezers. I can't do two things at once. Now, if you haven't seen the reverse tweezers, you need to check out in the mini catalog that just went live today. They have this kit that's called the, what is it called? Embossing Additions Toolkit. It comes with this tray that you can dump your embossing powder in, a little paintbrush that you can get the little flicks of embossing powder off. An embossing buddy is back, yay! And these reversed tweezers, which are going to hold my twine or my thread for me like an extra finger as I tie my bow around that block. So just a simple bow, and look how much easier that was than just tying it the first time. Now I'm going to kind of finagle my bow, get it the way I want it. Let me pull this one. Needs to be a little bit longer. Make them even. There, now my bow looks pretty good. Then I'm going to slide my bow right off of the block. We're done with the block, and now I'm going to slide it onto my vellum here, like that. And now I have that around my vellum. Do you see how I did that? It's so much easier to tie it around a block than it is to tie it around that vellum. Now we have a little bit of extra here, but I'll show you in a minute how to take care of that. So now I'm going to put a glue dot on the front of my tag, and this is just going to hold my bow in place so it looks like my tag is tied on with that bow. So we'll take that bow and put the center of it right on that glue dot, just like that. Look how cute, right? So now we need to tuck our little piece or pieces of bread in here like this, and our flour in there. And now how I'm going to get them to stick in there is I'm going to put adhesive, these little dots here, along this. Where did it go? My glue dot is not cooperating today. There we go, like that. And then I am going to put a glue dot along here because we can hide all of these glue dots behind that vellum. See, now you can't see them on this side, but yet they're going to hold stuff in place. So let's go ahead and take those off, and hopefully, and what isn't stuck on by here, we can just use adhesive to put on the back when we put it onto our card. And I'll show you, like I said, what I'm talking about. So we got some adhesive back there. I'm going to go ahead and tuck my bread in here. And that one little glue dot holds it. And then I'm going to slip this in the front, and those other little glue dots are now going to hold those in place. Now we have this little extra here. I'm going to make it taunt like this and just use some basic Scotch tape and pull that so it's tight in the front but doesn't tear my vellum, and put a little bit of tape to hold that down. So the back probably looks pretty bad, but look, the front looks really good. Okay, then we just need to put this down. I'm going to go ahead and just use my adhesive, my Stampin' Seal, and put a little bit of adhesive just on the back of those white. And look, here's, we forgot to take this glue dot off. And now I can take that piece there and set it right here onto my card front. And it's going to stay put because of all those little cheaters we used with the vellum. Then let's take this piece. Let's fold my card base first here. Put that on our card. Just a little bit of tape runner, stamp and seal right here. Lay that on the front. Look how cute that turned out. You can't see any glue dots or anything that's holding that vellum on there. And then with this extra piece, I really liked the blue. So I'm going to take just a piece of basic white that's a little bit smaller. So this is 5 inches by 3 3/4. Now, if you don't have any basic white, you could always just turn this piece over and use that as the inside. But like I said, I like that little bit of lighter blue on the darker blue. So I'm going to take my basic white, add it like that. I'll stamp it when I see what I want to say on the card, because the front says thinking of you, so it could be a birthday, it could be a sympathy, it could be just about anything. Lay that there, and then there, that's what I did with my third card. So this is what my kit looks like. Excuse me. But let me show you what I did for the make and take that my subscribers are going to get in the mail. Let me clean up just a little bit here and do a quick commercial. Next month, if you're interested in Paper Pumpkin, you've got to get the kit. You can either subscribe and get the kit every month, or you can place a Stampin' Up! Order and add a Paper Pumpkin on there. But you have to do it before the 10th of July, and you'll get this kit. They also have this game that they're playing that if you go to paperpumpkin.com, you can take a quiz and have a chance to win a free Paper Pumpkin kit. All of that has to happen before July 10th to get July's Paper Pumpkin. But let me show you the make and take. It looks like this. This is where I told you to be sure and hang on to a piece of that tissue paper. We're going to use that for the background. Here's what your kit looks like. So all these pieces in here, I'll show you what to do and what I use to cut them. So I did put them in a clear envelope. Now you know you can mail stuff in a clear envelope. Let me show you what you can do. You take your, oh, let's use this card. This is easier. You put your card in the clear envelope. Before you do, you write your return address here and the recipient's address here. Then you put it in the clear envelope carefully. There you go. And then you make sure the stamp is on the outside, but they can see through, and you can mail through with those clear envelopes. Okay, so your kit comes in a clear envelope. The pieces, this is the card base. Now, I'm not going to stamp on the inside. If you want to stamp on the inside, I suggest you do that before. And then if you have a blooper or whatever, you can turn it over and cover it up with the front. So this little piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 4, that's going to be the front of our card, because then you have this piece of basic white that's just a scrap that we're going to stamp the strawberries on. So just make sure that you have the right piece there. With this piece, and I'm going to use my silicone mat here, we're going to take it here, and like you can see, I've already cut my tissue paper. It's a little bit bigger than that, so my guess is it's probably 4 1/2 by maybe 5, well, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, I think is what my tissue paper, but like you can see, it's just a little bit bigger than my paper. I'm going to take my paper here and just an ordinary glue stick, and I'm going to just cover my whole piece of cardstock here with glue, trying not to get any on my fingers, making sure I get the edges like this, a little bit over here. Now I think that my glue stick is absolutely terrible, so I have to show you a few tricks of how you can fix if you have a glue stick of mine. Look at, can you see the clumps and stuff that are on there? I should just go to the dollar store and get a better glue stick. But take my tissue paper, I'm going to make sure I crumple it up really nice here, and then of course lay it out. Ooh, and I tore it. That's probably even going to give it more character. but lay it out again, and then I'm gonna just lay it directly on that glue there and try to lay it flat. I'm gonna try to fix my tear. I got a little rough with it down here, but I think it'll be okay. And then look how pretty that background is with that tissue paper. To me, it kind of looks like a painted wall, like that. Okay, then let's turn it over here. And we're gonna, I'm not gonna use that glue stick, icky. I'm gonna just use my tape runner here and fold that over. And I didn't get it far enough over, so let me do it again. There we go. And fold that over a little bit over here. It doesn't have to be perfect. We just want to make sure that we get a nice edge. Fold that over like that. Two more sides over here. And I didn't get close enough again. Over here, there we go. That tissue paper is so lightweight that it doesn't take much to get it stuck down there. There we go. On this one. Now, if you have corners like I do, wait, one more piece here, that kind of hang off and look funny. Oh, my corner, no, like this corner here, how it has a little piece. Well, now, of course, none of my corners are doing it. But I'm going to just take my paper snips, and if I have to, cut that little piece of tissue paper off so the corners look nice and crisp. And then since I have adhesive all over the back, as you can see it sticking to my fingers, I'm going to just take that and stick it now directly to my card. Now, if you have a decent glue stick, you shouldn't have any adhesive coming through. But since my glue stick was so, it's just gooey and icky and nasty, my card front is really sticky. So I'm going to just take a little bit of baby powder, and I'm going to just pat, there we go, and just kind of rub that on there. So now not only will your card be beautiful, it'll smell really sweet too. But now that's going to get all that extra adhesive so the card front isn't sticky. Just tap that off and then swipe that onto the floor. There you go. So now there's my card front, and now hopefully you won't tear your tissue paper like I did. If I had more time, I'd probably cut a new one, but it's still going to look okay. All right, then we got our card base already. I'm going to take these little pieces here. Now these little pieces are from a die set called the Full Bucket, and it's just a bunch of little pieces. This is a great die set that I just got, and I've been playing with it. And look at all the little bucket pieces here. You can see it has the little apples and the little apple leaves, some more leaves here, and then it has all of these pieces here, the separate twigs here, but these pieces cut out. Let me put this back in so I don't lose it. Oh, here's the little towel too. I guess you'd call it like a hand towel. But all those pieces cut out from the stamp set here. Now, if you buy the two together, you can save 10%, and these are in the annual catalog, or you can find them at my online store. And you can go to becreativewithkathy.com, and a link to all the supplies will be there. Let's put our little basket together. I'm going to just use a little bit of liquid glue and put this basket, I'm going to call it a basket front, right here onto my basket back. So it looks like that. And then these little pieces fit the top, the middle, and the bottom. They're 3 different sizes. So I'm going to just take that little, and this is early espresso, and the bucket base is soft suede, just in case you're wondering. But all of that will be on my blog too. And then this little thing here, we're going to take this, and you can kind of see in the back here, right here where it has a little bump, and that's where you know that those pieces line up right there. Whoop, try to get it straight. There we go. And then the last one, I think this little basket is cute, and I've been playing with it quite a bit lately, so you'll probably see more videos with the little basket set. Okay, there we go. Then with this little piece, which I kind of called the hand towel, I'm going to just put a little bit of liquid glue on the back of that and set that right there. So now we have a cute little basket. Let's look at our handle for just a minute here. I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper because our handle I have cut out in gray. What's that light gray called now? I can't even think. Smoky slate. Smoky slate? Maybe. But I want to make that little handle there black. So I'm going to just bring in a black Sharpie, probably because I can't find my black Stampin' Blend. And I'm going to just color that little handle part right here so it has a little bit more character, like that. And then on the back of this, I'm going to just put some liquid glue on the handle because it's just a little bit bigger, easier to use, and a little bit on this end, and a little bit down here. A little bit goes a long way. And then I'm going to put my handle right here on my bucket. So he looks like that. And now we have, our little bucket there, ready for our strawberries. So now with your stamp set, you have a little strawberry that looks like this, and that little scrap of basic white that's going to be in your kit. And I'm going to use black Memento ink, and I'm going to stamp 5 of those strawberries at least. If you want to stamp one, maybe you want one to put on the inside of your card, but the piece of paper that I gave you should be big enough for at least 6 of them. And now to save time, I'm only going to color one of them. I'm hoping that you have blender pens, colored pencils, who knows, even crayons. Maybe you could watercolor with your ink pad and a paintbrush, but I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends. I'm going to use 2 new in colors. This is the Sweet Sorbet, and this is the Parakeet Party. I'm going to start with the dark Sweet Sorbet, and I'm going to use that bullet tip and just color a little bit around the edge here. I'm not going to take a lot of time to shadow and blend. I just don't have that artistic ability, to be honest with you. But I'm going to stamp a little bit of dark and then come back in with that light and color the other half and kind of blend these two together. It just gives your strawberry a little bit more character. And then just color them in just like that. Nothing fancy. We just want some color on there. And like I said, for me, I would do all of them, but I have some already cut. Then with the dark Parakeet Party, I'm going to just color the leaves. I don't see any reason for blending because they're small. Stampin' Up! Has done some blending already on that one leaf. There we go. And then, bear with me while I quickly fussy cut that one little strawberry. And I'm going to leave just a little white border around there. I don't think it takes too long. And I'm hoping, like I said, that you have in your stamping stash something that you can color your strawberries with. And I would use black Memento ink if you're using the Stampin' Blends, and that way it doesn't bleed. There we go. Got my strawberry all cut out. Looks like that now. Isn't that cute? And then, like I said, I've already cut out the other 4. In fact, later I'll cut out one more. Okay, well now, oh, here's the other one. I was like, now that's only 3. There we go. And then later I think I will cut out another one and put it just inside here of my card. I think that would look really cute. But let's take our bucket here. I'm going to just put some adhesive right along the top of the bucket and then just start layering my strawberries. Make sure they're inside, they're not too tall. And when I say inside, so it doesn't go out the edge of the bucket here, there's one. Kind of put them a little bit angled different so they look cute in there. And then I'm going to take a couple dimensionals back here, right on the seams here, and then I'm going to put some dimensionals down here. Take those dimensional backs. Now, while my strawberries are still flat, I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back, and this is just going to help when we put it onto our card. here. But these are going to be stuck on with that dimensional. Maybe a little bit there and a little bit there. Nope, over here. There we go. Yep, look how cute those are. All stuck. I want him a little bit higher. There we go. Take these dimensional backs off. And then we can just go ahead and stick this right there on the front of our card. And look how cute that is. A little basket of strawberries. I love this die set. So now in your kit, and now I've already punched your banner for you, but I had just a 1/2 inch strip, and I believe this is 3 3/4 by 1/2 inch. I'm going to put this into my pick a punch. I believe it's the banner, and just whoop, do you see him go flying? Cut that side and cut this side, so we have a nice little banner right there. Let me find my black. Here it is, with my black. And I lost my little strip of paper. I might have to find another one. But then with that, it says, you're the pick of the crop. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that in that same Memento ink onto my scrap. Here's where you would use that chipboard that's in your kit. I'm going to go ahead and use my mat for my Stamparatus and stamp that onto that. But you need that little bit of padding with these photopolymer stamp sets. Let me see if I can get my head in the camera and just stamp that right there. I'm going to hold it down just for a second, let that ink sink in. And there we go, looky there. And then also in your kit, and like I said, I don't know if I can't find the piece I had, so let me grab one from the other kits here. Just a little strip of that sweet sorbet paper. Like this. I'm going to just put some adhesive right here and then lay that sweet sorbet right there. Try to get it centered. You know, it's not quite centered, so you know what I'm going to do? Instead of trying to peel that off, I'm just going to take my paper snips here and trim that so it's even on each side. There we go. That'll work, and that's a lot easier. Then with some glue dots just on this end, I'm going to put some adhesive, just tape runner here and glue dots here. Nope, dimensionals right here. Like this. And then just some tape runner down here. And add that to the front of our make and take. And look how cute that card is. Looks like that. Then like I said, I'm still going to cut up another strawberry, and I'm going to put it right here on the inside of both of my cards. And there again, I'll stamp the inside when I'm ready to mail out my card and I know what I want it to be. So there you go. There's your make and take. Be sure and watch your mail. Like I said, most of my paper is cut. I'm going to try to get them out Monday to all my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. If you have any questions, you be sure and let me know. I'll try to get all the supplies and the measurements and stuff that I used on my blog. Give me a few minutes after I post this onto YouTube, and you can find all that there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.